Hi, I'm Marc Bright. I'm an eco-communicator. I spent my life connecting with nature, being in nature, and working in nature. I'm dead set passionate about bringing our informed eco messages to life, delivering engaging specialised cartooning and interactive sensory style presentations, featuring original music, art media with strong cultural connections. So if you're looking to highlight eco info and help create quality outcomes for our planet, I'm the eco-communicator for you.
Love it. Welcome, everyone, to Andromeda 7, your celestial gateway, your channel for community support, help, friendship, love, knowledge, and just plain being of value to others. It's good to have you with us. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time to feed your mind and grow your heart. And we have a very, very special guest tonight, Marc Bright, all the way from Australia.
Yay, Laurie.
Welcome back, Marc.
Loving it. Love having you with us. So
yeah,
good on you.
Good to be here. What fun, eh?
Yes, what fun. Absolutely.
Hey, just quickly, I've got Earth Heroes friend with me. Eric's Shay, right? He turned up cameo appearance.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Good to see you. Welcome.
He's here too. He's the creator of the Earth Heroes platform, and we're doing work with the kids together. So I just sort of let you know he's just there.
Awesome.
Oh, wonderful.
Good,
wonderful.
because I'm sure some questions will come up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool, eh? And all the other stars. We always reckon the audience is the stars. We're just part of the stars.
Yes, yes. We're all part of the stars. Teresa,
right.
you want to fill in our audience about who Marc is and
Sure.
what this is all about?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
There you go.
Somebody's got that drum going. I knew it would come in handy.
Yeah.
This is probably our fourth encounter with Marc. He was a surprise guest on one of our shows with Jules last year. We got to know him. We said, we got to have him on. So he came back and he's done a couple shows with us. He did one on conscious cartooning about his partnership with his friend Jeff to bring eco-friendly messages and communications through cartooning. And then and then Joyology Now, which was the program that he has to help different communities, children and adults alike, to increase awareness about climate, nature. And he did a body art show with us on how he incorporates body painting. That was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't wait. When I found out what he was doing, which just tying into some things that I'm seeing as a pattern that's actually happening, good thing, is the whole sustainable living, homesteading, regeneration of the planet. There's a much broader perspective here and a much bigger picture, but it's happening at the community level all over the world, here in the United States as well as Australia. And Marc is a primary example of it. And and you know, when you take a look at everything, there's many not fractals. So what were we calling them? Not fragments, but fractals of Marc. Because he's so broadly talented, but he's bringing all these threads together into something that's a much bigger picture, folks. And he's involved with Earth Heroes, everyday people living extraordinary lives, exploring opportunities for conscious evolution, expanding individual growth, and honoring our responsibilities to the earth. And they have put together a documentary that they're going to show a trailer for tonight. And it's a documentary to increase the whole world's awareness of the from permaculture, reef restoration, and sustainable practices, and responding in a responsible way to the earth's needs, giving back to the earth, helping to heal the earth, helping the earth to go through its changes, and teaching people things that they can be aware of and things that they can do to make things better. I hope I said that right.
Wow, that's a mouthful, but yeah, hey, like lots of stuff, eh?
Yeah, but it is a bigger picture because, I mean, you know, you take a look at conscious cartooning, Joyology Now, all the activities that you're doing, you know, and now you've got a retreat, a spiritual healing retreat center on sacred land there on the
Yeah.
Serpentine Ridge, and you're bringing people together there
Well,
to
thank
plant
you. Yeah.
trees, and so.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's like the behind here that I mentioned before. You see the Buddha, it's got the bunya nut. That's a sacred tree for all the Aboriginal people in this district. I just mentioned it's coming out the top of the Buddha. It's sacred by the fact that it drops this abundance of food, nuts that last for maybe 2 months in their dilly bags to walk back to their communities, and they gather under the bunya nut, bunny nuts. Like bunny is their way of saying
That's
bunya
such
nut.
a cute name.
Bunny.
Yeah, and it's sort of we were gifted. There's a quick story. That one is one of 50 we were gifted that were this 2.5 meters tall from the Aboriginal elders of this district. They just came one day right behind where we are now, and with a trailer says, Mark, these are meant for you to put on your acreage. So
wow. They also, one of the elders carved a tree for you, right? A welcome post or pole?
Yes. Oh gosh, I got to show you. It's just that's sort of back in here in our retreat shed. Our pole. Now he researched this from all his tribal references he could find after he'd come from Uluru, which is the centre of Australia, Big Rock.
Yeah.
And the meeting that he was asked to come into, he went and asked them about traditional art for welcoming people to country, and they gave him this symbol from, would you believe, an Aboriginal art book that they had to show the various best practices, and he carved it in our retreat. So it's pretty cool the actual work he did by hand. He chiseled it, right?
Wow.
You know, and then he said, "Oh, this is. I'll have to get a machine to finish." But he just loved the process. And Uncle Alan, by the way, his name is Uncle Alan Parsons. If you want to check it out, he did this when he was at Uluru. He asked if he could take some of the soil, and he was granted that request with an absolute. And from the dingo paw that it was at that night before being in the circle, he picked the hand. They said that's the one to take, and he placed some of it just behind us in a planting we did of a bunya nut a few weeks back, a month and a bit back. And he is a little man. Yeah, just to finish it off, he is a little man. He as a kid he had spina bifida and all sorts of. And he set up the Australian Disability for Aboriginal People Network.
Oh,
so
how wonderful.
Yeah, right?
That's amazing.
Gutsy man.
Aren't they?
You know?
A lot of people who have disabilities are extremely talented, strong, independent, loving, kind people. And boy, they really set the example for the rest of us, I would say.
Yeah, they sure do.
I got to say, and he follows it up with this, with our work at the yarning circle placements that we've done, installations of yarning circles back where there was lots of injustices done. We made this large yarning circle seated place on the golf course, the first ever in Australia to honour reconciliation, because, well, back in the day they used to say we like that land, and those Aboriginals on there, bang bang. Oh, what Aboriginals? Now we own it. But we reconciled with that, and he was there at the first ever yarning circle at a golf course as part of our all abilities golf that we do with the. We've had about 800 young people and people come through.
What exactly is a yarning circle?
Yarning circle is a place where gathering happens at key vortex points or ley line points in districts where there's business. They call it business. Is discussed, and they talk about, well, who's looking after that dry burn of that land so we can regenerate and get a bit more kangaroo coming along to eat the shoots and for that area. And so they all gather and talk about matters that matter. You know,
so sort of like local council meetings, you know, locals coming together for the council.
And it's community.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's like you're a Native American Indian. They, you know, lots of powwow places, right? You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
can I just finish this? Just behind us, not far up on Mount Widgie, is a couple of key points that overlook right to Noosa. You remember Noosa, that way to the ocean, 30 minutes away. So there's powwow yarning circle place up there. And just to finish, these things are the black boy trees, the grass trees that the juice, the sap that comes out, that they burn to make a very high vibe in the circle of the yarning circle. When there's business to be discussed, it actually activates your pineal gland and your crown chakra. It's a very high level smell and function. So we've got a plate full of that, which we were allowed to take to.
So it's a good trigger for all of that.
Yes. So I just thought that's a story, but it's a good story.
Yeah.
Hi,
Jules. Welcome.
Make some incense sticks out of them. Look at them, eh?
Oh, look at that. That's an incense stick.
They're an incense stick.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Jules.
I would love that.
You get the vibes out of that. So, yeah.
Well, Jules made it in.
Hey, she's here.
Yay.
She was. I think she's frozen.
Oh, she's over it. She's over just about yonder, about 20 kilometres at Amamore State Forest, which is where the Gympie muster is. And it's a few thousand, 10,000 people, tens of thousands, all having a boot scoot, right?
Yeah.
She told me today it's between 40 and 50,000.
Holy moly! That's a lot of people.
And Ian, her mate Ian, he's the one that set up all the lighting to light up the whole place.
There she is.
There she
Where
is.
is it? I've got a cartoon of Ian, and he's
hello, everybody.
We call him. There he is. There's his
Can you hear me?
lovely girl, lady. But we called him Recoverini because he totally's got his hands with a ladder and a screwdriver and he's one of those guys. Like he's helped us here on the property. It's no end incredible to make.
He's worth his weight in gold, I would say.
His weight in kangaroo poo.
That's cute.
Kangaroo poo.
So you would say he's the poop?
He's the poop, mate.
No, I would say guana poo.
That's what incense sticks are made out of.
Really?
Is it? Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We did some testing today, and Jules can only sustain connection for a certain amount of time, but she gave me some pictures to show everybody of what Ian did and the crowds there and what the place looks like, so we can show those. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, I walked into a camp and I got some hot spot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any. So I can't go anywhere else other than right beside the camp because I've got his Wi-Fi. So I started walking off into the forest. And of course, I lost you. The trees would give me. I thought the trees would give me some Wi-Fi. Being the cheeky little wood nymph, you'd think they'd be helping me, wouldn't you?
Yeah. That signal out for you, right?
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, I just thought, hello, everybody.
Good to have you with us.
Yep.
Good to have you.
Hello.
Hi, Jules.
Hey, Jules.
Yeah.
I've got my friend Shay Ryan Douglas from Earth Heroes here. He's just a cameo appearance ready for some filming about our district and the kids here in the district. So just so you know, say hello. It's
hello.
Good cameo.
Hello, cameo. That's all I'll be doing. That's all I'll be doing is a cameo appearance everywhere, everybody. So we are having a great time here, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of laughs with Marc. So I won't hang around because it's just the signal's not that great. So I'll allow you to have your show, and I'll hopefully next week be able to be on for the whole hour.
Wonderful.
That'd be great.
Yay.
Awesome.
I'll show them your pictures, Jules. I'll show them.
You betcha.
Okay.
Thank you all for your gifts and talents, and enjoy always.
You as well. Bye,
Have fun
Cheeky.
there.
Bye, Jules.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
all. Bye.
Cheeky.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Cheeky.
Yes, the
They were
cheeky
up.
wood nymph. Is that cheeky
They
wood
were
nymph disappear down the trunk of a eucalypt tree or something?
they were up until 2:00 in the morning, and these two have been helping to set up this whole event for 2 weeks. They've been camping in the woods for 2 weeks because you have to construct and build a lot of platforms.
True.
And the lighting. Now think of this. Now you're in a forest in the middle of nowhere, and they're actually hanging lanterns in trees and installing lights and angling them down to the different platforms and stages. They're lighting by using the trees to hold the lighting equipment. And that's what Ian does. That's what, and Jules goes around with all the light bulbs and lamps.
Absolutely. That's not all. He definitely does a lot of the building and electricals and earth diggy. He's just a gun fellow. He's so much handy. It's really hard to acknowledge all his layers of skills.
Well, let me just get his while I'm setting up the share screen to show the few pictures that Jules sent before we get into all of Marc's stuff. Lori, you want to do the shout out? Because a lot of folks are in the chat room. And I'll do the share screen.
You bet.
I'll bring up the photos while you're talking.
All right. Sounds good. Scotty Boy is in the house. Always good to see you, Scotty Boy. And your brand of humor is always fun to experience.
Is he there somewhere? Where is he?
We have the Musgrave Griffin team. Thank you, Jeannie. I've got my bracelets on. They're beautiful. You crafted and made these beautiful bracelets. So thank you very much. Was a really nice birthday gift. Smoking in G sharp. Yes, you are. Thank you for being here as well. Beloved Abstract. Sip. Love that. Good to see you always. Let's see who else we have. Kind of scrolling through. Chloe, good to see you. Chloe, I am so excited to receive your gift. I can't wait for it to get here. So thank you so much for that. That's really sweet of you. You're just a doll. Gazakov is here. Good to see you as well. I know that garden's probably getting really big, and good on you. Lucky Smith, always a pleasure. Enjoy you being here as well. Milky Way Soul Tribe, Robert V, happy you're joining us. Julie Stowe, always a pleasure. Love your little posts on Facebook. Go, love you as well. Always a pleasure to see you. Let's see, who else do we have? I think I pretty much have everybody. If I've missed anyone, I am so sorry. The chat goes pretty fast. Looking like I've got everybody in here. Let's go ahead and just continue your share.
All right, we'll do. All right, folks. So this is Ian, Jules' husband on the right-hand side, literally building out of duct tape and wire everything he needs to hang these lanterns in the trees. And if you look at this picture on the left, you see a green tree in the background, and that's the glow coming off of some of the lights that Ian has hung in those trees.
How beautiful. Wow, a lot of work.
And so
that's a festival.
He also
the last time he did that extended work was out here where we put the new roof on the back of this shed, and also that was a bit, plus the electrics and the drainage and everything. So anyway, it was about 2.5 weeks work, and we gave him the best massage ever.
Did you? I'm sure he needed it.
Yeah.
We
put him on the table, and we had 3 people working on him at once. He had a good massage.
Yeah. He spends all his weeks and weeks and weeks climbing ladders, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, the calves get a good workout, eh?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And there's a couple more here. Let's see. This is going to show you. Okay, now, Jules wanted you all to see what was going on with the stage. Is this okay, Lori?
Yeah.
So here's to the right, there's some green trees.
Mm-hmm.
And to the left, and all these trees have these portable lighting units. Some are from lamp and some are lit in other ways. But what you're seeing is the first night there. And this is a crowd that extends even back behind this camera angle. There's 40,000 people the first night.
Huge.
So it's huge festival. Let's see. These are
I was
two
just saying to everyone before the show that it's almost like Australia's Burning Man in a way.
Yeah, it
you know,
is.
just it's a huge, massive undertaking. So,
and these are her mates, two of her friends that she's hanging out with and working with there. Yeah, you know who they are, Mark?
I've got an idea. Yeah, Colleen and I think that's
Colleen and Katie, is it?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, well, look, they're really amazing community orientated group that we're actually connected to do things like recover after the flood, and anytime there's a community need discussions about homelessness and kind of redefining how you do parcels of land with multi-tenancies and stuff, important issues there, as well as really grassrootsy supplying food, and they're just really core people,
Yeah, they are. Everybody that attends there is. Now, what she was telling me is that these folks were so sequestered for so long with all the restrictions there that they're finally getting out. And they're coming out in hordes, and the campgrounds can no longer hold them all.
Wow.
Yesterday, the count was up to close to 50,000.
Oh, my goodness.
And
they nearly run out of beer a few times, too.
Oh, no.
No.
They had a couple of emergency dashes down to supply in Brisbane.
There you go.
Here they're all holding lights in their hand. They're burning candles. Some of the music is very motivational music, and it's very country style music, kind of like our bluegrass festivals.
Yeah.
And they're all holding up candles and cigarette lighters and cell phones, and they're just lighting the world here.
Just having a time of their lives. Huh?
Having a great time.
Yeah.
And you can see these portable lanterns up in these trees that Ian has installed.
Just amazing.
It's just an amazing event. And it took them two and a half weeks just to get this far.
Wow.
With the setup. And there's a lot of circus type tents there. Because these tents are like, one group of tents will be for food, a whole row for just food. There's another alleyway that you walk through where it's like stores, little booths that you go to buy different things, clothing, jewelry, instruments, musical instruments.
I bet the arts and crafts are amazing. People kind of selling their wares, and how amazing. Sounds like a great time.
Yeah. So that's just to give you a feel for what she was trying to bring to us, which was the music,
Yeah.
There's one more thing here.
Okay.
Jules made for this occasion a very special floral arrangement. And this tells us what it is.
Wattle, yeah, absolutely. I can just vouch for that because spring has sprung here for us, and wattle is very prevalent in the district, beautiful wattle. So that's so much of it. It fits nicely when you get a yellow dress. She sort of fits in camouflage.
Yeah,
these flowers are called grevilleas and banksias.
Yeah,
yeah.
We've got a couple of them just over there too. Yeah,
so she's really over here. See how pretty they are?
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah.
And she's matching it. She says she's blending in and trying to be like a lizard, blending in.
Yes.
With her own floral arrangement. She doesn't look a bit like a lizard to me. Sorry there.
That's a sunflower there.
All right, so I'll stop sharing. Here you go, Lori. Turn it back to you.
What did you want to do next?
Well, I wanted to go ahead and give folks an idea of what Marc is doing with this regeneration documentary.
Yay.
Because it's the big picture of how he's bringing everything he does together. So let's do that, and we can talk about that because he has the gentleman sitting right next to him.
Yep.
Earth Heroes.
Do you want to get a little précis from Shay about his work there with the Earth Heroes? You good?
Yeah.
All right. Because he and I kind of collaborate on in a few areas, and particularly
absolutely.
we met up at the Island Vibes event, which is just towards Brisbane, but in the Ocean Way, where there was a festival, and he interviewed me, and it was just the last part of his content creative collection that he was putting together. 2 years it took him to get this movie, the regeneration, going. But that's just a segue. So we met, and it's so awesome. Now I'll put you to Shay. Here he goes. So,
Thank you.
Hey guys,
Hi,
so
Jay.
nice to see you all. It was really quite a special moment actually when Mark and I were on the beach, and it kind of encapsulated the message that we really wanted to tell with this visual storytelling documentary, which is ultimately a creative piece of artwork that we created from our hearts in a small team to be able to send out these positive messages to people all across the world, where there's a lot of amazing communities and organizations and ultimately people who are coming together in these times to really create something special for a changing world, because we could recognize there are a lot of amazing people, just like Mark was one of the features of the film, and to really highlight some of these simple kind of forgotten about practices that we can reconnect to be able to make a change in the world. So that moment when I met Mark, he was actually guiding a group of kids through the festival underneath the rainbow serpent, which you might be familiar with, his story of creation here by the local.
Yeah.
And he was guiding all these children, probably about 100 of them, in this rainbow serpent through the festival with all the colors on top of them, and took them into the
whale circle,
the
sacred whale circle.
That's right.
That was a powerful business. The whale circle had just had the entire festival gathered to listen to the cultural elders' story about the whale and its importance of the and role in all their creation story, and all their elders of other tribes across the nation to Turtle Island. They were referencing how the whale spread the message. So it was very synchronistic, that bit. Yeah.
Extremely synchronistic. And what ended up happening with the film, as we called it the regeneration, because we focused a lot on the organizations that were regenerating the environment by tree planting or restoring the Great Barrier Reef. But more so, what Mark really focuses on with a lot of his work is looking at, we are the generation that is regenerating our environment, and particularly focusing on the next generation of younglings that are coming through with a lot of the work that Mark does with the next generation, and really guiding them in a way that we can support their growth and their awareness of the world through a beautiful lens that really encapsulates the magnificence of how colorful and bright and beautiful this planet really is, and how much joy is out there in the world. So I mean, the creative process was just a wonderful journey to be on, and it's such a privilege to have Mark a part of that journey. And we've been doing a load of screening tours recently around the East Coast here in Australia, and Mark's been a part of many of those screenings, and just to create that community environment to come together and celebrate artwork together. And it's been
all about community, isn't it? It truly is. And the future generations, get them on that path to understanding and learning and growing in a completely different direction. So and good on you.
One really good point. The movie it's been taken up as a sort of study for the university, local university students, as a sample example for their doctorate, or what you might explain there.
Yeah, definitely. So it's kind of like every year there's around 970 students this year that will use the film. They'll watch it, and then they'll do a bit more of a kind of analysis and critique on the film, and use it to be able to digest some of the social, justice kind of challenges that we may be facing, and how we can make use of the diversity of options that we have to be able to implement into a daily life some of the positive changes that we can be a part of.
So how's that,
That's awesome. Change is good, and that's what this world needs, is a lot of good changes.
And the young ones,
it's amazing the work you're doing, Keith. That's just fantastic. And it's so good to see people like you, taking the bull by the horns, so to speak, and really creating that energy in that space. So good on you.
Shay's great
Thank
with
you.
the people. I've got to say, he's really good with the people, young ones. They identify with Shay's call. He has fun with them and speaks his heart in gatherings. So that's potent medicine for those who've not been able to do some of that open sharing. He does it, and it shows it's by example. It's all cool, Yeah,
lead by example. That's truly it. So it's wonderful to have people like you in the world that are actually here helping make that change, and being the catalyst for that is just fantastic. And it's so good to see that energy shifting now. So
it's a bit synchronistic, the cameo appearance.
Isn't that something?
The universe brings him in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love it.
See, most people will just grumble and complain about things, but you guys are actually doing something, so that's kind of refreshing.
That's it. And Millie just brought us a cup of chai.
Happy day. Nice. Hi, Millie. Good to see you.
Millie,
good to see you.
Going to do the puppets for us. She's a master puppeteer. She's got eucalyptus, the tree, Yuki, the tree, and she's going to do some the worm puppets. So she's that all good on her.
Milk, macadamia milk.
Macadamia is the nut Australian. They call it.
I love macadamia.
It's in this yummy thing.
Oh God, I bet it's delicious. Millie, you got to make us a cup when we come and visit you.
Yeah.
When are you coming?
Hi, Millie.
We're going to come next year.
It's so nice to see you all again.
Hi, Millie. Good to see you
as well.
We've been, it's. I haven't got my glasses on, but
it's all right.
Having a.
Teresa and the guys there, all the stars.
You've got it all shrunk on the screen.
Oh, well, don't worry about your glasses.
Well, Millie, while you're here, I just want to tell you, I think you've done a great job with the Facebook page and the YouTube channel for Serpentine Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And all the videos you've been posting. You've done a great job. And every single one of those videos teaches somebody something, but it also introduces what you're trying to do. And I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Millie, we love it when you share.
Slowly as we do things, we just share it, and people comment and enjoy it.
Speaking of which, look, she's got the rock. She's been lifting rocks to make our retaining wall with me. That's a bit of our Serpentine Ridgey thing there. Aren't they pretty, like jade, huh?
Beautiful.
We're going to see some of that probably in one of these videos.
Yeah.
That retaining wall, they have a retaining wall that separates the gray water pool from the actual retreat center itself. And the whole retaining wall is one great big crystal when you think about it.
Amazing,
So it really adds energy to the drum circle that's nearby and the ceremony, the fire circle. So why don't we play the first video, Lori, of Shay's documentary. It's a trailer, folks, so it's just going to whet your appetite for about 6 or 7 minutes. We can come back and the panel can ask questions if they have any.
You got it.
Good.
Sounds great.
Oh, that's number 2.
Oh, that's number 2.
That's number 2, Lori.
Oh, sorry, guys. Bear with me.
Actually, that's number 3.
Oh, I got them backwards.
Technical difficulty.
It's
number 1 is the...
These are the ones I had queued up. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Good, so good.
So this one here, yes?
That's number 3.
That's number 3.
The documentary is number 2. Documentary is number 1. It's to the left of that. Look at your tabs at the top. See documentary, Earth Heroes documentary. You see it up above your arrow?
I of course I do. Bear with me while I try to make this happen.
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
There
you got it.
Okay. Here?
Yep.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All of life is energy. The sun's light allows plants to grow, fruit to ripen, and coral to spawn. Humans have the ability to harness the flow of nature. But in today's world, Are humans truly honoring the ecosystems of our planet?
Yeah, water tree. Anyway, go for it. Just go for a little water.
We're in the midst of an evolutionary upheaval at this moment. We are deep into, now I'm not saying flirting with, I'm saying we're deep into the 6th mass extinction of life on this planet. 5 times in the history of this planet, life was thriving, and then some cataclysmic event ends up wiping out up to 90% of life. A lot of it has to do with corporate control of media, and that their interest in petroleum and coal is actually destroying the environment. And so you really didn't hear a lot about it until recently, because now it's critical.
The question is, what can people do to make the world a better place?
We're looking at the last chapter of life on Earth with our current course of action.
Nature is not designed for raping and violation. It's no measure of good health to function properly in an insane society. That is really what Western society currently is. That's a socially engineered, constructed matrix.
I think we're all walking around lonely as hell.
There's so much greatness that can still come.
We're in a process of redefining everything.
What do we truly value? What do I value as an individual? Everyone's got a part to play. And I truly believe that everybody's doing their part because everything we do has an impact.
Step out of the system and create a new system.
Us as people caring for the land, doing this together for our future. And then this becomes this.
We are not the victims, we are the co-creators.
All of these man-made constructs of status and money and power and worrying about what everybody thinks about you all the time, it's all man-made bullshit. You get somebody into the garden and show them how simple life can be. Build yourself a little shack, put a seed in the ground, water it. A week later, come back and harvest it and eat it. We've overcomplicated things.
Keep up with the habits, keep up with the awareness, and keep up with the learning, because the tide will turn.
An enlightened planet would be tantamount to living a heaven on earth experience, a honeymoon experience as people fall in love. And when they fall in love, how much they appreciate everything in their world around them.
I say, let's evolve, but let's evolve healthily and happily and harmoniously.
Oh, happy, healthy, harmoniously. That's what open love is all about, living in harmony.
Some of the ancient tribes have mentioned of the rainbow people coming together with the cultural people in these times to share their love for Earth and regenerate Earth, when they were calling the young people the regeneration.
Hey.
The future holds a lot of potential for millennials, because the future is we have to return to be gardeners, and all the new technologies that will manifest to how can we clean up the air, the water, the land, take care of the people. It's just waiting for a population of young people to come in and say, I'm motivated to make a better world, and then you're in the right place.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
That is brilliant.
What do you reckon? Give him a little clap.
Brilliant.
I can't wait to see the whole thing.
Oh my God. Beautiful photography, well put together, absolutely just brilliant. What a great job. It's such an honor. It's such an honor to have someone like you in the world and presenting this material. So thank you so kindly.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that the last person on there, that was Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Yes.
He's also got a very interesting message where your consciousness can affect your DNA. He co-wrote a couple of books with Dr. Len Horowitz about consciousness affecting reality and consciousness affecting DNA and chemical processes within the body. So I think that's very important, and it's good that you brought him into the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did this process take you? I mean, how long have you been working on this out of curiosity?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks for asking. It was around 2 years in the process to come together. And, you know, it's something that when we set out to create the film, we had no idea kind of how to do that. But we knew why we wanted to do it, which was more important. And then everything just began to, you know, fall into this kind of synchronistic resonance where, for example, even the interview with Marc was one of those moments where it was kind of very much unplanned, but similar to this conversation today, but it just felt like it was so
wow,
you know, and we were just like surrendering to trusting in the process and just allowing things to unravel in the right timing. And you know, before we knew it, we had created this film together, and it was just a wonderful journey because there were so many kind of people and contributions that came together from a variety of amazing film cinematographers and underwater cinematographers, as well as the post-production team and the editing suite and so forth, as well as all the people on there, you know, like I'm really grateful for
just amazing.
It's a major undertaking,
just
yes.
in so much awe right now for this. What wonderful work to be involved in. It's just fascinating.
Shay, is this a documentary project for like postgraduate or graduate work, or is it actually a group of you conscious, creative restoration experts getting together and saying, we need to do this, we need to pull together and get this message out there?
Yeah, it was the option B on that one. It was definitely the latter. We just decided that this was something that was really true to our hearts and a message that we really felt was relevant for the times of our planet. And we just really felt that we were young, activated, and very enthusiastic kind of creators. And we just said, times now. So, you know, we weren't sourcing any funding, and even the monetary side of things was not even a consideration. We were like, we just need to do this. Let's just make it happen.
Hey, come on. Huh?
So that everybody volunteered. The folks that pulled this together were basically volunteers, weren't they?
Pretty much, yeah. Yep.
That's incredible to pull volunteers together to do something that massive.
Yeah.
Without a little carrot, but for them, the carrot was increasing.
Shay, I'm sorry, I've been pronouncing. For some reason, I kept picking up different names, so I apologize for that. That's my bad. I'm wondering what got you sparked. What sparked you? What got you into it? What was the trigger that really set it off?
Yeah, beautiful question. For me, on my personal journey, it took me to a place of, you know, pain and suffering that led me to kind of break through that veil and come out the other side, to realize the power of storytelling, for one. And also in today's modern day, this seems that the storytelling piece has traditionally, it's been around the fire and around the circle, and as Marc spoke to the yarning circle earlier, but today, modern day, the storytelling piece has really been encapsulated by our screens in the modern context. And so this element of visual storytelling through documentaries or movies, I had felt in my life had huge kind of awakenings of realizations of what's going on in the world. And so really recognizing the power that these documentaries have in a modern context, we really felt that was a beautiful medium to create this piece of art through, to get a story across, get the message out there, to send out senses of hope for future generations moving forward. So my journey was, it took me to the pit to come and realize my purpose, and then come out the other side and break the veil and go.
Many of us have been on that path, so we get it. Yes, and it is the Great Awakening. That's what this is all about now.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, totally agree.
I just want to say too that within the movie, which you didn't quite see in the trailer, but cartooning was featured, and one of my inspirations was the RSA Animate group that did TED Talks using cartooning, and you know, our passion is going forward with Shay, his connection with having fun and getting message, conscious cartooning, and and show and work with Earth Heroes for the young kids TV that we're planning to do, hopefully more of. But that theme of if you got something to say and it's storytelling, make sure it's a bit of fun, or you quickly lose people's attention. A bit of fun works well. So
we do show some of that, Mark, in the third video.
Oh,
when we get to it for the biosphere video. We do show that.
Beanbag forum.
Yeah, look at that.
The beanbag forum. Oh, can you see that? Everyone's having a chat in the beanbag forum.
Yeah.
And they're having a say. I just thought that you'd like that. Yeah.
That's
anyway,
they're
cool.
socially
That's very
distanced.
cute. Yeah.
What?
They're socially distanced.
Yes.
Socially distanced. Yeah. Oh, that was sketch one. We'll have each other in the beanbag cuddling.
Oh, okay.
Why not, eh?
Well, let's show what Serpentine Ridge. Now, Serpentine Ridge is all part of this, but the funny thing is that, not funny, haha, but I was pulling together and I'm like, oh, I know what he's doing. Because it's not just your average spiritual retreat center. It is actually putting people to work in a healthy way while you're restoring the land.
Which is very much the theme of the Earth Heroes, is a regeneration, and we got some of the little bubbas we're going to put in show for our next lot. But the film talks about these are bush food, bush medicine, bush forestry trees that are all part of our kind of growth here. The thousands are going to go in, but with the movie trailer of what you were about to show shows a group who recently came, and they're fairly suburban, couch suburbia, I call them. They came off the couch and they got on the pick,
You know what it reminded me of? Reminded me of having a moving party where you're saying, okay, we're going to renovate a house or move and set up. So everybody come and buy I'll get you pizza and beer if you show up. And what these folks are doing is they're coming for that to tap into nature and meditate. Yeah. And they're getting fed and they're planting trees, and that in itself is therapeutic,
Yeah.
And we just made a dancing pad just down here for dancing. Last night we finished it, made of crushed granite, which is crystal, right? Crystalline deca. We just made it. It's like the traditional Aboriginal dancing pads that they do ceremony with. Anyway, we had this vision. Millie had this vision overnight where the old people who came down off the ridge and said, "This is cool. You've done nice." You know what I mean? Done a nice thing. So the next lot of people coming to do what you'll see on the video are going to get the benefit of a dance and a music session with dig and sound healing even more,
Wow. Yeah. You want to show it, Lori? Number 2?
The tree planting?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
You got it. Let me get it going.
And folks, there's a lot of these videos on the YouTube channel for Serpentine Ridge. She's queuing it up. She disappeared while she's queuing it up.
Actually, here in Europe, we have somebody doing exactly something like that, and his name is Sepp Holzer. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah. Rings a bell.
Yeah, Sepp Holzer. I think he's Swiss or German, and he's made massive changes in like local ecosystems, like in the northern part of Spain, which is pretty harsh. And this is a region called Extremadura, where he transformed it into like a tropical like lush jungle, within a matter of just a year or so. And he did the same thing. He built like an eco center, and he has like volunteers coming in, teaching them the whole bit. So
100%.
We need a lot more people doing that, it seems.
It's so, I'll just quickly mention, at our last screening on Thursday night together, we had the Syntropic Movement group come, and that fellow's name was mentioned amongst our challenges and talking about challenges and that it's overcomeable. All these desert places are overcome
can be overcome with this practice to turn into, forest. And our plan is to do one in Australia here from where we are here, right out to the desert, green it right up like Gondwana land, which was the original thing.
That's doable, because keep in mind that the first place that Sepp Holzer actually implemented these ideas were at the top of a mountain, at the top of one of the Alps, where he was able to take an area that had sub-zero temperatures almost year round. Amazing. And green it and be able to grow like oranges there and unbelievable stuff. By changing the microclimate.
Yes. Yeah.
And by biodynamic gardening, which means selecting 100%. The right types of fauna and flora and right types of plants that go together and mutually enrich the soil and all these things. It. So it's doable. In other words, if you can do it at the top of one of the Alps, then you can do it anywhere.
Yes.
My apologies for the glitches, everybody.
Okay.
It's been one of those nights of me trying to keep all this together. So I've got this video for you. Would you like to see it now?
Yeah, you're doing great, Lori.
All right, there you go.
Well. Laughing at one of their friends. Hey, see? Boom drum.
Go, Millie. You get it, Millie.
Go, girl. That's that big drum.
I love that.
That thing makes a boom sound we could even play, but I did a dancing. Okay. That's it. Around the fire.
Fire, Millie, in the fireplace up at the Serpentine Ridge. Happy days. Thanks for coming. The planting crew.
Very simple, good, eh?
Yeah. Looks like a wonderful place to hang out, let me tell you.
Yeah, easy to do. Yeah. Yeah. Just that, yeah.
So, Marc, this is sacred ground to the Aboriginal there.
Surely, yes.
How did you acquire this land, and what's the deal there with the Aboriginal?
I've got to give credit. Millie, 31 years ago, she camped just behind where we've got this computer set, and she just felt the dreaming and said, I've got to have this place. So 31 years she saved and scrimped and all of that, took 2 jobs and held on to it between a partner who was a bit kind of radical with trees being knocked down and cows being put on, and he dominated, and he went off, and she then took up a second more and made the money to own it herself, and maintained at the back of the property all the old grass trees, didn't let them get smashed or anything. These are the sacred trees that this sap that we were saying comes from, and she looked after it, and I turned up a couple of years into her life. I knew her before, but it was just synchronistic, and I've had a background in working with an Aboriginal elder just over the back here, about 20 kilometres up Black Snake Road. He has 100 acres, and I always pass this way and love the district, and he said, yeah, good land from here. So long story, the dreaming is a feature of through this district that he mentioned a number of times to me.
Wow.
So it's very synchronistic, and basically we've had a number of elders come here. One we mentioned before, Uncle Alan, who carved the welcome pole inside.
Yeah, your totem.
And us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's amazing, and another young guy, Aboriginal guy, Manu, from up north, and the synchronicities of these Aboriginal friends of mine are pretty amazing, because they turn up and they're sitting on the rock. I can't even distinguish them between the rock and the bush. They're like, I didn't even know they were there until I go, oh, they were one and the same. And and then they said, brother, I was just tuning into the rock. I said, I thought you were the rock, And he said, yeah, there's some juju here, Old people talking.
You bet.
Whenever you get, anyway, long story. And the water spirit here spoke very strongly to me. I mean, I've been trained a little bit in their company to listen. I do a lot of talking, but we listened up a lot to get the water connection here, because, water, you need water. It's dryish country, but it's water under earth water. And this water spirit divining process we did to get the bore water going was a sacred business. It came to me in a dream. This water spirit says it'll come down the mountain to your bore, and then you will work it out and fill the area with water for the bush food, bush medicine, and the community centre. And people can learn, and it's like all is well. You're in the right place, that sort of thing. So that I've had that before in the company of my elder who lives over the back. His totem was given to him by his mother, called Black Snake, because he saw a black snake pretty much not far from here near a water course as a young boy. And whenever the parents see the response of the young ones to nature that's noteworthy, they know that's, to be their name or their totem. And so anyway, Black Snake is his. And we've had a few snakes here. They're lovely. They're all friendly. They go, look, hello, that's lovely. Bye. I'm off.
Interesting, Mark. I have a question, because you're at a place called Serpentine Ridge, right? So I take it that the ridge is made of serpentine rock, correct?
Yes.
So, well, being a crystal person and all that, which makes sense. You're talking about a snake, because the serpentine actually is modeled and known as the snake, because it sheds its skin, and serpentine is noted for transformation, rejuvenation, regeneration, and it's a really powerful
it
rock.
Really is.
For creative powers and to harness all of that. And so, I mean, and it's, like I said, it's associated with the snake type modeling on the outside of the rock, and definitely it's such a healing stone.
Yes.
Serpentine. So you have a whole ridge of it around you.
True. It's built on it. And just
that's what I mean. So I mean, really
he
great.
builds a healing center on it. Yeah.
Because I get really excited about this bit, because I'm a bit of a geologist. They call me they think I'm being a joyologist. They think they hear geologist.
Yeah, I bet.
And I go, that's pretty cool.
Doesn't register.
I love geology at school. Is one subject I got really good marks at. But the story about the lava, that always got me really going, about how the earth was created, right? That's that's heavy duty gear, right? And but the truth of it is that from all understandings that I've been able to glean from friends of mine, one of which his father was a Australia-wide geologist, famous man, is about the Serpentine formation is water through the lava flows. This water, underground water, comes up and then solidifies, but takes a lot of the off bits of the hot lava with it, and then sets. So that's
it seems to me that piece of rock that you're holding, that's like organic lava.
Organic lava.
It's organic lava.
I could just about eat it. Oh. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, but
yeah, because it's the blood of a plant. It's plant's blood. It's just that it's solidified.
There you go. Yeah.
It's amazing stuff, I've got to say. And everyone who comes here gets that same vibe. And even the hardened of critics, I've had some heavy dudes come popping along here, like just out of the blue. Where did you come from? And oh, this is nice, brother, and and loosens up, and it does that, has that good effect on people. So.
Yeah, I bet it
now,
does.
do you have special events, Mark, or do you just have an open door if they want to come up for the weekend? I mean, how does that work?
We've got an event coming on September 18, which is going to be a planting day like that, and a music day, September 18. But also, I want to mention, and this is really appropriate for Shay's here. He's interested and seemed to get connection a lot with the young men. And one of my passions is bringing the men and the young men together to come to land. And my previous work was with large groups of men. We did a mural where there was 150 men, I should say, a men's business. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Story there. And they gathered, and there was this Manshine event, and so we did a giant mural, and this is a small version of it, and we auctioned it off and made some bit of money to pay for Marc's travel, which I appreciated. Actually, we got a couple of grand for our giant mural. It was
wow, look at that,
4 meters by 5 meters by 2.4 meter, and that was all done on a giant mural that they all coloured in later with us. But long story short, we set up the Sunshine Coast men's circle around a fire, and Jay's just had a lot of interest with the young guys, and we've had the senior men attending these circles, and then there's going to be a unified gathering, I think, out here one day.
Mentoring.
Where we have them here.
Fantastic.
But there's also like the other ones, the kids. We have a family day planned, and look, they can have a lot of fun out here. Man, there's just good things to do. We have good things happening, and Millie's puppets. We have foods going on, and we've got a community centre. I'm just doing the toilet for the organic toilet and the shower for. So I'm kind of like, I'm on the order. Tomorrow, I got it down there,
this
happy
center,
days.
This Serpentine Ridge Center is hosting other types of activities. For example, you're pulling in for the Biosphere Ambassador Project, the Climate Crusaders, which is a youth group from any age range, all the way up from elementary school through college, it seems. And you bring them there to that center to learn about some of the climate change topics and tree planting as well. So you're actually using that center for multiple ways of communicating.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, look, you'd appreciate this. Here's a cartoon about them making their own pull cart tiny house that they're going to do when they go with their mums on a journey to other retreats around the place. You see that one?
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing that. They're making their own carts, and I'm the Pied Piper there, but they're in a pull cart tiny home, and it coincides.
I love it. That's a tiny home, all right.
Teeny tiny home.
Itty bitty tiny home.
And it's interesting because we say with them, you can do some healthy bickering, but it's got to be healthy bickering. Don't do, it's my hammer. We make sure we get rainbow rules. Don't do much yucky business.
Respect each other for sure.
Pull them into a little bit of. I'm a bit old school, not that old school, but
enough
to say, don't do yucky stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's been a while. It's been a while. Marc is either hired by or contracted with different companies to bring educational awareness on ecology.
That's right. And we just got hired by this one here. Look out! Sorry, Shay, man. This one here is a Noosa River water cleaning project, and the international company that hired was the Nature Conservancy and Thomas Foundation. Anyway, they're large groups across the world who wanted to see to talk about and make note to people in a fun way how to improve water quality in the rivers around that lead to Noosa River, and that makes sense. I don't know if you can see all that, but there's a fair bit of work goes in there. We had a workbook that is made from this here. Here's the cover of the workbook. So it's an engaging way. We play with them and have puppets. So you get the idea, and that's a quick go.
Right. And so one of your clients is Biosphere, right?
That's right. The Noosa Biosphere previously.
It's part of Noosa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because trying to get it all straight. So what you've got, and they have created, or you have created this ambassador.
I got to say they're very good. Look, the thing about corporates, I love them and they're gorgeous. They have a way of being very clear about their glossy magazine and their facts and their data. And the amount of money they spent on their glossy magazines and the amount of reading and engagement with it doesn't correlate. They need to make it engaging,
So they bring in the Joyologist and the Echo Communicator to make that happen.
Otherwise,
especially with children.
I don't like to tell them how to suck eggs. I'm playing with it. I was a pro golfer, right? And I'm playing a corporate day next Friday with all the corporate heads of Brisbane coming to Caboolture Golf Course about things like what we do at the All Abilities Golf, the Care for the Earth at the golf course that we do with the disability kids, and how we get the messages out, having fun, and so we'll play with them. And the good thing about it, I get a bit of respect because I can beat their ass at golf, so they listen a little bit sometimes, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And sometimes they think that's a good idea, and they give some money.
See, I think it's great that you're engaging the kids, because I can only go by my own experience, having grown up in New York City in the 70s and the 80s, when there was no such thing, no exposure to nature. Nope. I mean, I didn't even know cows have horns until I was 23 and actually saw one. Really, honestly.
You're aware they have udders, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dalibor, don't feel bad, because not so long ago, when I was in my 30s, well, half-life ago, I didn't know the difference between a male and a female deer. So I go to some steakhouse that has decided on the men's room and women's room to put bucks versus, I don't know, what the heck do they call them?
Doe.
I still don't know. Bucks and does. So I'm like walking into the bucks room, I got the shock of my life.
Wow.
Not knowing the difference, yeah.
I said to my friends, which one do I use? And they're like, go with the one with the horns.
But they both have horns.
They set me up. I got the shock of my life.
That is funny.
So I was a city slicker. Now I live in the country. I know a lot more.
Kids are naturally curious. So by engaging them in something like that, that's going to affect them throughout their whole lives, and they're going to carry that message for the rest of their lives.
Well, let's show the Biosphere Ambassador Project video with the kids. Because
is that the climate?
And it has a little bit in there about their vision. See, they've got vision, and they need to be heard, these kids, and that's the purpose of, perhaps with Shay, but even more so with the children, how they playfully can bring their messages, and people listen when the kids are genuinely speaking their truth. It's pure good.
Yes, no
that's
doubt
what I like
about
about this video, because these kids are really opening their hearts.
Right, here we go. Come on, don't do this to me.
Hey, Michelle, Desert Rose.
That's all right, they do. You're onto it.
Okay. Keeps wanting me to.
Claudette.
There we go. Hold on. There we go.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
It's a powerful time of change. It's time to listen and support the great visions and ideas of the young people.
Yeah! Cool.
Hello, my name's Alexandria. And I'm Obelia. Can we please have lots of people to join us and stop people from destroying the environment?
It's where the Noosa Biosphere Young Ambassadors Sustainability Student Ambassador Project is getting the young ones together, and we're sharing times in yarning circles and places where nature is near the ocean in our Biosphere district, and actively involving aspects of the students' passion. And one of the passions is to clean the planet, and there are a lot of other passions they've got, and we're helping them in the full knowledge that they have what they need to create the vision that they see for our future. That's really important, eh? So we'll get everybody together and even get more power.
Yep.
Right? That's the thing.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is
People have power.
people power, hey? Yeah.
I'm Olivia and I'm passionate about climate action now.
Let's look after this lovely land. Good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our planet is getting hotter and the rise in sea levels is putting islands like Kiribati in severe danger. This climate crisis, it's important to notice the sheer power of us all uniting and demanding change.
I forgot what I was going to say, sorry. Take two.
Go!
My name's Emma and this is Sutherland and Lily, and we are here today at Cotton Tree to support and strive for a safe climate future. And if we all band together and do something, we can change the world and people power and all that good stuff. Yeah!
The more of us there are, the harder it is for the government to ignore our planet's need for help. I can too.
I'm Rosita, and I'm going to go to Cairns soon and get my diver's license so I can be a marine biologist and help save the Great Barrier Reef.
Goody.
Was that your favourite thing today, Vincent?
Yeah.
And what did you learn about worms?
We put it into where you put fruit scraps.
Your food scraps?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Adorable. Love these kids.
Hi, my name's Bella and I'm a vegan and I'm worried about the earth being destroyed. For instance, the bats. The flowers don't have enough moisture for them to drink and they don't have enough to eat. So my friends and I put apples in the trees and tied up the wire.
Thank you.
I think maybe the spectacled flying foxes, because like 3/3 or something, like 1/3 of them died last year in like November or December because of climate change. Like they just fell out of the trees.
I'm Ruby. I'm Sienna. I'm Edward. And I'm Romany. We're here to talk to you guys about sustainability. Sustainability is like deforestation, plastic pollution, and all other terrible issues on our planet.
Yeah, here we are at the Sustainability Symposium, preparing up with our murals in the background. You can see our murals, the conscious cartooning murals. They're creating environmental information.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm here enjoying Marc's beautiful workshop here today out in King. And a topic that had come up out here was to do with the roadworks for wildlife, something that had been illustrated on this beautiful mural.
I'm Louie, and I'm scared about Adani and what would happen if it continues in the way it's going. We could lose a lot of water it could get contaminated, and it's scary to think of what could happen with what could happen in the future, in my future, and I'm also confused as to why the government is not acting on this to ensure a safe and secure future for me.
Hashtag it matters. Hashtag it matters.
That's a bit of a roughie, but a goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so roughie, but a goodie.
I like what you do with the children here at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was,
koala. You've ever made ever in your whole life to care for the earth? All right. Ready? Close your eyes. Bestest ever wish you've ever made to help the earth. Slowly close their eyes. Make the bestest ever wish they ever made ever in their lives to help the earth. Then they opened up their eyes. Did you make a good wish?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Bit of a roughie production, but good fun,
Yes.
That gives you all a good idea of how he's blending his gifts and talents for what he does to
Thank you. Yeah.
broaden everyone's outlook.
Yeah, it's interesting. We just got a book to go to Steiner School. Steiner's a bit more progressive than some of the state schools, and they booked us for a couple of weeks away to do stuff with their kids, which is kind of nice. They talk about angels openly, and other things which aren't your standard. So anywhere where that's going, we go or can do our interactive.
And they can even take a field trip to Serpentine Ridge and plant a tree.
Yeah.
That's it. Come out and do here.
That's really cool.
Bit of both. So all good. You have to come over. Come on over. Come and visit one day.
Absolutely.
Oh, we'd love it. That would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I mean, that would be a chance of a lifetime right there. Amazing opportunities. So
thank you. It's pretty cool when you get a hold of a bit of Australia literally in your veins and in your body. It's good here. The vibe is good. Vibe is good.
I could see that.
I just thought it would also be a really good example to folks here in the States who are even thinking about eventually opening their properties to different ways of doing retreats. I've heard different people talking about it.
Well, in terms of sustainability, I think more people should be moving to Australia, because when you look at it objectively, you got Europe, which is 3/4 the size of Australia, with a population 16 times as big. It's pretty logical, considering the fact that Australia is a civilized country, just like Europe, and the United States. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
there's a lot of scope. Well, one thing, a vision that I had, and I've definitely driven me a lot, is to be part of these retreats that are all up and down the coast, up and down the Great Dividing Range, the mountain area that extends right down to the southern part of Australia and goes right up to pretty much the northern part. They call it the Great Dividing Range, but it is where a lot of the retreats are being set up, like ours. And I've been part of them, and there are other ones going out back, and I've been part of them too. And it's powerful business, I've got to say, because that vision is actually manifesting. And Shay and the Earth Heroes and the people who we're attracting are like underway to set them up, as well as places to set up and make the corridors to be replanted in between. See,
sure,
yeah, so,
yeah,
and that's where the regeneration of the district, literally by the regeneration and regenerating the areas, is kind of a symbiotic story word play that's happening, and then the sharing of the knowledge is kind of like up to the Great Awakening's a promise that's been held. Oh, how will we get to raise our vibration to fifth dimension? How will it work? Well, it's socially linked up with those who've got the knowledge, culturally and connected to Earth, and to go a little bit of a journey to do it and learn from different people along the way. That's across the world as well.
Yep, just sharing all of that. Yeah, sharing
a good
is caring.
example here. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Amazing. It's amazing what you've created in such a short period of time, you and Millie.
It truly is.
But Millie, you said, was working on this vision for 31 years.
Wow.
This place here, yeah. Well, she had it, but it had the wish to do. Here she comes. Look, you just heard.
There's Millie.
She's got the earthworm. Wormy, what's happening?
Myself ready here.
You need to talk to the rock and see where's the mitochondria around here. The little, yes. You can smell it. It's got vibes. Yes. Vibing it. What about the tree? Do you need some soil in there? Go diving. Yeah. It's all, you see, it's quick. We can play.
Very simple
That's
puppet.
a very simple
Yes.
puppet. Yuki out. Yuki the tree. Get Yuki out, Millie. She's getting the other big one behind Buddha.
Uh-oh.
She's getting it. Oh, well. What's happening? It's being undone. It's getting
look.
it. That's Yuki the tree.
Oh,
That's
I love
Yuki
that.
the puppet tree.
Just wave from here.
Wait from there. I can see you. There it is. There.
Millie's in her element, that's for sure.
That's great.
Now, Yuki, it's got roots like those special connections.
That's his legs.
There's his leggies, they're root leggies. And they put it on the
It's
back.
adorable.
And we have a whole skit there with the puppet field.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fantastic.
the stuff goes on. But she's made large puppets like that. And we're intending to, a story that we want to put together. One is about the space worm that connects with the earthworm. So there's this synchronistic with the Andromeda's worms and other worms. And there's the turtle. There's the rainbow turtle business. Come down here. Come down, scooting past this way.
Oh, I love that turtle.
Adorable. Oh my God, that's so great.
There it is.
I love it.
Passport to get some telepathic, messages.
You
And,
guys are just too much. I love it.
Well, there she's having a bit of a go with the chakras. Yeah.
That's
They have
beautiful.
fun.
That's
They
great.
never stop having fun, those puppets, and the kids get. You think that's one? We got 40 of those puppets for the kids to actually beat the dirt and the worms, but end up the dads felt a bit out of it, so they were putting them on last time, and the Down to Earth with the worm song. What's that one, Lily? What's that
It's
one?
like a frog.
It's an oyster.
Oh, it's an oyster. Okay.
Well,
I haven't got his.
Oh, don't worry about accept.
His mouth.
It looks
thing
good.
isn't in there,
It
so
don't worry.
it's worth his
It
mouth.
looks good. It's very nice. And Ollie, that's Ollie the oyster.
Ollie the oyster.
And
Ollie has legs.
He's
Yeah.
got flippers.
Yeah. Now
I've
there's
never
a
seen an oyster with legs and arms.
Yeah,
though.
but that's like
But you can do that with
Yeah.
puppets.
He is unique.
he is unique. He won. But the beauty about that little story there is that those oysters, they can clean 150 liters of water a day. And get rid of all the toxins and so
It's like a bathtub full.
yeah, bathtub full. So imagine that one oyster, because the places that we know near the district here in the lead into the waters, all the oysters got taken away by silly people who didn't care about it and didn't allow for the regeneration of the mother oysters, and so you end up getting water that's silty, like very silty,
it affects things, and other stuff doesn't grow as well, and so forth and so on. So we play with the stories so that we show what the, literally story of what happens with the oyster's role, which seems to be removed. The oyster seems to be this yucky, little thing like that, and they go, oh, oyster, oyster. But if you put that into context and play with it with cartooning and that and puppeting, they get the message, and the kids say, right, that's something we got to look after, right?
It's awareness. It really truly is. It's just all about awareness.
Yeah.
And being consciously aware of all of these different components that are coming together, and just getting everybody on the same page. And I think that's what's so fascinating about what you do and what Shay is doing as well. So
Absolutely.
There's some links here for you folks to check all this out. Just copy those links and go take a look at it and see what these folks are doing. It is it's quite amazing. I'm extremely impressed.
I want to see the whole documentary when it is it available yet, or is it still just being tested?
Yeah.
Basically, there's a bit of a mini draft that I've done for Shay, and he's come this afternoon today he didn't, and whatever, he's by his instinct. Chat about and see if we can link children's episodes into Earth Heroes.
That'd be cool. Wonderful. Yeah,
if it's workable. And the stories that go like community building, sustainability, a connection to Earth, visions for your greatest life. So those might be topics or segments that you play with and cartoon and puppet with and walk with. So you walk as cameo appearances by Aboriginal ladies and Aboriginal men who kind of like they meet and a walk down to the water hole. What are you I'm just looking here at the what they call the barramundi tree's leaf, and look, there's the bird. The barramundi bird sits in it. We haven't had this barramundi tree here for a long time, since the original settlers cut all the trees out, and therefore the messages weren't being passed along. There was breaks in the messages, and the creatures didn't have continuity. So those sort of messages are where it backs in the regeneration of the land as a worthwhile thing. You keep bring the creatures, give them a home, give them a place to live, right? So that's easy stuff to do, and it's just simple. It's not rocket science. It's straightforward, eh?
It is, yeah. The truth is simple.
I know that beyond the children, there is, for the adults, there are some more intense training, educational about regenerating the reef, taking care of the ocean mammals. So you get into more advanced subjects and topics on regeneration projects for adults and folks, college students, and So how do they hook up with you about that? How do they sign up for these things?
Well, Earth Heroes has a platform that it's a membership arrangement. You pay for a bit of.
That's on their website.
Yeah, and Shay can tell you about that, or go and see. But I just want to reiterate that along my journey and the people that we meet that come through here, the Aboriginal side of it, and there's a lot of them that are very amazing. They're really amazing men and women who are running kind of like programs to just reconnect and tell those stories that matter. And I'm just passionate about including that as a way to make sure that you go through that cultural knowledge. It's useful stuff. Like, for instance, the people who brought the bunya nut trees to us, they just brought them. They said, you've got the right vibe, and that bunya nut is in the back here. I'll just get it out of the top of the Buddha's head. See, like a lotus. I'll just pull it out. But this one here is their tree that they brought. They brought 50 of these to us, the bunya nut tree.
Nice.
And they produce large, literally as big as a football, with many layers of nuts in them. And this is a sacred tree, and it was gifted to us by the local Aboriginal elders. This is a segue, I suppose. It's on the same track. But the theme being that the plants and the trees and the creatures all have kind of a story, and they actually can talk to you if you listen
Mhm.
closely enough.
Yep.
And these ones do that if you sit with them long enough.
Mhm.
And that's one of the conscious things we were saying about that you were mentioning just before about the regeneration for people who are, you know, adults, what you call, and getting messages that are more peaceful and say not as frenetic as I'd go with the kids and all that stuff, but settle in and those sort of things. And the messages are available. And these are some of the trainings that we get from the people who come and visit, and we record that knowledge, and that hopefully can be added to our media. But this particular tree is said to be like a social engineer in itself, because it gives out. It's said to actually create the conditions for people to come. You know,
Right.
And
Right.
so
Right.
that's it's one of its roles, and the food is so like palatable that they, and also it's longevity. You can take it in what they call the dilly bag for a journey of a walking on a dreaming pathway back to house or back to your tribe, so that it's a little pocket of energy it provides. So we'll be putting more of these
cool.
Into our property. It's 50 acres here, so there's quite a bit of room we can add those things, and inviting people to sit with the tree, sit in sacred space with the plants, bush food, bush medicine, bush
Yes.
floristry, and that one there, that's one we're going in with. That's a sacred plant in itself. It's a garden. It's a myrtle actually, but that myrtle is often used in cheesecakes or in uplifting things for clearing chest problems. So we apply the plant's medicine and messages. So I think that's really important to reconnect in that way with any of those messages we carry here, and those people come, they just spread it around, and you know it's doable elsewhere, and it's the sharing of the knowledge, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Well,
Just
Marc,
fantastic.
it's 10:34, so we've been at this for an hour and a half, and I just want to thank you for your enthusiasm, your energy, your willingness to spend time with us and introduce us to these concepts and how you're pulling it all together. It's a great example. I hope more and more people, I hope it catches on here more as well.
Oh, I'm sure it will. If it isn't already, it certainly will. So just amazing, fantastic work you're both doing. And you just can't thank Shay enough. Just fantastic. You guys.
Shay man's there.
Yeah, Shay.
Great work. I mean, just
can't wait to
blessings, infinite blessings on you for this. So good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if there's anything we can
good for
do
the
to
rest
help
of
you
us.
promote it or get it out
Absolutely.
there, just let us know. And
you betcha.
this
We're
is
here
a start.
for you.
This is a start tonight.
You know
but
it.
hey, guys, Marc, we have something special for you. I just need to do a share screen real quick. Lori?
Okay, go for it.
All right. So Marc has been with us. This is his third or fourth time, I think, or third full time. And I was talking to a friend of ours in the community, and he's setting us up with something special for Marc. All right?
Okay.
All right. This is Marc's label for the Serpentine Ridge YouTube channel and the Facebook page.
Yes.
So it shows all the symbols and sacred healing experience. So this is kind of his banner, if you will. And let me move this. I gotta make it smaller. Whoops. So I can open up the other one. Yeah. So I can open up the other one. All right. And this is the Rocky Stucci Insane Tumbler design.
Oh, wow.
Which is
pretty
holds
cool.
ice cold drinks and two different kinds of lids. Comes with two different kinds of lids. And we have these drink holders that keep your stuff cold for like 2 days. It's like a mini cooler.
They are awesome.
So we're gonna have this design here on the left as a wraparound on a white tumbler. So it'll wrap up instead of the kitty cat. You'll have the your logo on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our gift to you, Marc.
So lovely, appreciated. Thank you. Oh, speaking of gifts, we'll give back a gift. That's that little bookworm doodah that we had, bookmark that we've got to give to all the people who's watching. All you other stars there, get one of our little conscious cartooning bookworm bookmarky thingies.
Nice.
That's
Wonderful.
kind of funky. We'll send that in PDF form and you print it off on good cardboard. And if you're
There you
reading,
go.
I suppose it could be useful.
I love it. That's cute. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Yep. Yep. So we'll be shipping that out to you as soon as Rocky. We just talked about it 2 days ago, and he's working on a mock-up now, and he'll get it done.
Good on him. Thank him very much. And whatever becomes,
I just need a shipping address for you, and I can get that later.
We'll have some fun as well. You know, get in person.
Yeah.
Have a hug.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, Marc, and so wonderful to meet Shay. And
really appreciate
just
it.
wishing you all the best and infinite love to both of you and all your efforts.
All of you.
Oh,
Thank
and
you.
by the way, this show tonight is a good prelude for next week because we're going to jump into the Musgrave Griffin Buckhorn Homestead, everybody.
This will be fascinating.
So
Yes,
stay
a lot
tuned
of
for a
fun.
show trailer on that. There's a video that we made with Jeannie and Michael, and we're going to show that video probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends on our schedule.
Mhm.
And then on Friday, we're going to have Jeannie and Michael boots on the ground on her homestead. And we're going to show how she's regenerating and restoring.
Yay.
Michael and his brother are completely restoring this piece of land that hasn't been worked on since 1975, I think.
It's amazing.
And they're completely using all natural materials for everything around them, siphoning water off from the stream like Gazakov does to irrigate. They're just building out green. They're just using as much of the natural surrounding as they can. It's completely self-sustaining. Well, almost complete. And right now, they have mostly their vegetables and fruits, everything you could think of. And then they also have the future planned for some animals. They got chickens and geese, so we're going to do that. And Jeannie's going to show off some of her talents, like these beads.
Yes.
She does beadwork.
Lovely.
This is a gorgeous blue beadwork and like a Celtic cross here.
That's funky.
Yeah, she does some beautiful beadwork.
Yes, she does.
So she's going to show all her stuff, and hopefully we'll have a good connection and take us on a walking tour of her property. And it's got a lot of history.
Right where the Pony Express comes through, that'll be exciting, and a lot of history and some Civil War stuff. So some really cool things are coming up next week on that.
Oh yeah. So that'll be a good show
much,
too.
you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Much love to you all. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Peace out, everyone.